Hello, my name is Corinne and I want to introduce my first book titled Under the Witching Tree, soon to be released from Troy Books, very exciting. This is the first volume in a trilogy about plant lore, folk magic, and folk medicine. It focuses primarily on the rustic traditional magic of trees from Western and Northern Europe and North America. The title, Under the Witching Tree, refers to the rowan tree, actually, Sorbus acuparia, the witching tree being one of its many names. As you'll see, it's one of the most magical trees in folklore. I just want to share with you a little bit about this book and my process. So, I'm a folk herbalist and I've been working intimately with plants and trees for nearly 20 years. And while I love to explore many other physical medicinal uses, I also really appreciate and find most valuable their unseen qualities, their unseen virtues. Folklore sheds light on some little-known practices that really acknowledge the occult virtues of the plants and trees. It's this incredible pathway back through time that reveals the ways of all of our ancestors, no matter where we come from, no matter what our ethnicity. And today in modern herbalism, plant lore is hardly a consideration, in particular with the many magical ways that the plants were employed in the past. It will indeed surprise you. In modern herbalism, there is a tendency to focus on the official history of the literate classes rather than the folk history of the people, and to focus purely on the medicinal and physical uses. The ways of the common rustic folk and the folk practitioners are truly not represented in the modern field of herbalism, and these ways are full of old earthen magic. So most of the information that I find and utilize in my practices is little known among modern plant people. I specifically include homespun applications for magic and medicine that are hands-on and animistic in nature. As you'll see from the lore, that people respected and feared many trees in particular, and that much of this lore is dark in its character, meaning not only the supernatural powers held within the plants themselves, but also in the context and the ways that people use them. There are many tales, charms, spells, recipes, and folk rites embedded in the text in the first volume here, and I focus on 20 different trees total. They are organized according to season, due to their specific energy, and some of my poetry is included at the beginning of each section to set the tone for that time of year. After each tree is covered in depth in regards to folklore, I include a specific section on folk medicine, so how the tree was used traditionally in a medicinal way. Also, with European and colonial American uses, many Native American uses are also included. Then I include a section on my personal ways of working with the tree, both magically and medicinally. There is specific harvesting information when applicable, and many of my own recipes and charms that I've developed over the years are given with step-by-step instructions. At the very end of the book are detailed medicine-making appendices. For example, how to make wines, how to make elixirs and fumigations, making offerings, and whatnot. My other two forthcoming volumes, one on wayside plants and the other on the witch's garden plants, will follow suit to include detailed appendices with many more applications. So it's really my intention, it was really my intention to create what I couldn't find in the world. These are the herbal books that I've been looking for personally for a very long time, so it's been really satisfying. And my hope is that they'll inspire others to look to those innate powers of the plants and trees that are so palpable and available and so intense if we're only paying attention, so that people can see this long trail of empirical evidence that people certainly saw the plants and the trees as supernatural beings, and they were treated as such. And so really, how can we learn from this? How can we remember these ways? How can we apply them to our own lives still and tap into that deeper mystery and that deeper power, especially during this modern day and age when we're really disconnected from the land and from plants in general. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy, and many thanks.